What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to fix a loose toilet seat. I'm going to show you guys how to expose the hidden screws on this one here to tighten them. And if you try and tighten them and they're still not biting, I'm going to show you guys an easy way to fix it. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we've got a loose toilet seat here. I've shown you guys in the past how to fix a loose toilet seat, both with bottom fixings and top fixings. So anytime you can get to the back of the toilet seat here, if you put your hand underneath, you'll be able to feel a wing nut and you'll be able to tighten it from there. A top fixing or a top mounted toilet seat has hidden screws under these caps here. So we need to remove this toilet seat. Just in case you haven't seen my previous video, I'm going to quickly show you guys how to remove the toilet seat, expose those screws, tighten them up, and if it doesn't tighten, then I'm going to show you guys how to also fix that. So to remove the actual toilet seat, there's a few different ways you can do this depending on the style that you have. Usually you'll find there's a release mechanism. Sometimes there's going to be a button on the side here, other times it'll be on the inside. It's just a little press button. In this particular case here, we've got a button in the middle. Sometimes there's actually no button at all and you just simply need to put a little bit of force and pop that one there up. Now in this case here, we've got a button. So all we're going to do is press that button, lift the toilet seat up, and now we've got this seat here out of the way. So now we've got the toilet seat out of the way, you'll notice there's two little chrome caps here. You simply want to pop those up. Sometimes they're a little bit tight to remove. You might want to put a little flathead screwdriver underneath, being very careful not to damage the toilet itself. Pop off those caps, we'll actually put these out of the way. And you can see now we've exposed some screws on the top here. So now that we've got the covers off, we've exposed our two screws here that we're going to use to make our final adjustments. You can see how much play there is in that one there. We need to make sure that both of these screws are slightly loose so that we can rotate this around and make our final adjustments for our final position. If you're lucky, everything's going to bite on nicely and you're going to have a nice fixed rigid toilet seat again. If you're unlucky, one of these screws or both of them might not actually bite on, and I'm going to show you guys what to do if your screw rotates and simply doesn't bite on. So now we can take our toilet seat, drop it on top of those pins, and you'll notice I haven't got the covers on. That way we're going to be able to adjust this and tighten it all into position and actually still see the screws. So we're going to close the toilet seat down, square off the side, slide it to the front as much as you can. Lift up the toilet seat without moving the final position, which is going to be right there. We're going to take a screwdriver and simply tighten these screws here back up. At this point, you can take your toilet seat back off, put your caps back on, toilet seat goes back on, and that's the end of it. Everything's nice and ready to go. If you're unlucky and when you get to this point, your screw doesn't tighten up. So now this is where most people tend to get stuck. We've got one here that's nice and tight. This one here is still a little bit loose. If we try and tighten that one there with the screwdriver, it just keeps spinning and won't tighten it up enough. So what we need to do in this case here is we need to release this screw as much as possible. Pull that screw there out and we'll put it on the side, and you can see there's a little plug in here. So the easiest way to remove this one here is with the screw itself. You just simply put it in, let it bite on just a little bit, and you can start to pull that one there up. So we're just going to keep working on that. If you over tighten it, it's not going to be able to allow that plug to come back out, and I'll show you guys why in a second. So you can see that starting to come out. We'll release that screw just a little bit more, and then we'll wiggle it out. And you can see here, this one here is a plastic little plug. The threads on the back are also plastic, and a lot of times these ones here wear out. The way this is designed to work is when you put the screw in, you can see there it's nice and thin, enough to get in that hole. As we tighten it up, it starts to squash its way through and it opens up and becomes wider, lodging itself on that hole. So what we need to do in this case here is we simply need to replace this plug. Now, I've got a little kit that I'll put a link in the description below as well. It comes with a whole bunch of different fixings in order to fix a toilet seat. That's whether it's a top mount or a bottom mount. They're going to give you a whole bunch of spare parts for either case. And all you need in this case here is just a new one of these plugs. So for this particular one, this is the style of plug that it comes with. You can see it's got a little washer on top. We don't need that washer in this case here. The design is slightly different. You need to be careful not to drop this in the toilet. The design is slightly different, so we're going to remove that screw there. We're going to take this one here, and that screw is going to come through the top here, just like that. And now with this section here, we're going to screw it on just slightly. So this one here's got a washer on the back, or a nut on the back. Pretty much the same concept, just a different style. And you only want to put that on just a little bit, because as this one here starts to push through, you can see the split. Once again, it's going to open up and mushroom underneath. So now that we've got this one here, we can drop the plug inside the hole. Once again, take that screwdriver and start tightening everything back on. So once again, we don't want to tighten this one here up too much because we need to reposition it. Drop our toilet seat back on top. This one here is fixed already. So we'll just line this one here up to line up with it. Drop your toilet seat down, make sure you're happy with the position once again, and then simply take your screwdriver and tighten this one here back on. Once again, drop your caps on top. Toilet seat can go back on. And once that's done, we've now got a rigid toilet seat that no longer slides around. Nice, simple fix. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. You've learned something new. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.